Hello, Ray Phoenix here. Welcome to Let's Play Ratchet and Clank 3 Up Your Arsenal. We're in Marcadia. We're at that Capitol building on this planet. Where there's all these lights that we have to reflect around, these laser lights, these laser beam lights, and we can use our refractor to channel the beams into their respective targets. And then that way we'll open up the doors so we can eventually get to our ultimate destination, which I believe is where the city's defense grid is. Defense grids. What does Insomniac Games have with defense grids? Almost every game Insomniac Games has ever made is at least one part where you would work with a defense grid. Disruptor did that. I was just playing Disruptor in a live stream last night, and Disruptor has like a defense grid. Or like some sort of defense grid thing, and then I remember Spyro games had them too. Like there was that one on I'm pretty sure Spyro had like where we go through the enemy's defenses, or we have to and then there's this, of course, Ratchet and Clank. So Spyro has stuff like that. So I guess they're not that uncommon in games made by Insomniac Games. I've never once played a game that Insomniac Games made that I thought was bad. Pretty much every game I've ever played by them was pretty good. So that means they have a very good success rate. They probably have a better success rate than a lot of other companies do. I mean, sure, Capcom's success rate is really good too, but Capcom's made tons of games, and not all of them are necessarily the best. So now we're coming across this guy we met in the first game. I think his name's Al or something like that. He was some nerdy guy we saw in the original Ratchet and Clank, and now that we're back in this galaxy, you could see he's here. And look, he has the first issue of Captain Quark, the first Captain Quark vid comic. And he somehow plugged it into the city's defense grid, and somehow he's using it to somehow improve the defensive forces of our city. Yeah, just by using some game someone made. It sounds like something a kid would have made up or something like that. But I guess these games are kind of made for, well, no, I guess I wouldn't call these games made for kids, but it definitely has stuff that kids like. I know I love this stuff like this when I was a kid, and Clank is the only one that speaks the nerd language. So he's telling it some way to protect the city's defense grid or something like that. He's gonna like insert some new code because it's what Clank says is like a great code to work. He's asking if we could have the vid comic. Yes, he gave us the vid comic, so now we could use it to help jog Captain Quark's memory and make him, just a big jerk again. Because we know Captain Quark's a really big jerk, and we always want this big jerk to return. It's actually kind of an improvement that he doesn't have his memory now. Now I can't do any of his jerk stuff anymore. Like trying to take over the Bogon Galaxy again, or some other galaxy with the Proto-Pet or something like that. Yeah, that would be pretty good if they just, maybe we should just leave him like this. And I don't think he's really going to be much help against Doctor Nefarious, at least so we think right now. And I'm sure Ratchet has his doubts about Captain Quark. We also know he teamed up with Chairman Drek in the first game too. So Captain Quark isn't exactly trustworthy. He's more of a villain than a superhero. Kind of like Captain Amazing from the movie Mystery Men. He was more of a villain than a hero too. We're going to go back to the Starship Phoenix where we actually use that gaming system we were introduced to at the beginning. That cartridge-based system. I sometimes wonder what PlayStation systems would have been like these cartridges rather than discs. Cartridges are awesome. They're so much more durable. They're faster as well too, and they last longer too. They're less prone to certain failures. That would have been an awesome thing. I just recently found out that I'm not really loyal to gaming systems. I'm more loyal to the games they play. I don't care what this is on. As long as I can play and have fun fit, it's good. That's how any game should be. Any game is intended to be fun and being a fun and entertaining adventure. And if you just play it on anything, like what's the bad about that? You can play it on anything. I don't really care what it is it's being played on. I feel like Captain Quark, yeah, that's what you're gonna get. Just walking around like he thinks he knows something right now. So let's put this system in. Let's put the game in this system. We'll be booting it up. And there we go. Agreed to a photo of Captain Quark. He's clearly faking that smile. He's probably been just thinking, just remember, I'm getting paid a lot of money to do this. I really love these vid comics. One of the reasons why I love this game so much. It's one of the reasons why this is my favorite Ratchet and Clank game. We're introduced to Captain Quark in these cool-looking comics that they drew, where it describes his backstory, where he was like some superhero that lived in the Solana Galaxy some long time ago. And in this first one, he's going against these evil robotic pirates. Yeah, these robotic pirates are taking over the galaxy, and Captain Quark has to dish out some good old-fashioned justice against them. He has to bash them around and blast them and stuff. Just what any great superhero is gonna do, right? All the great superheroes always resort to violence first and bash down their enemies without trying to reason with them first. That's what makes a great superhero, right? And he thinks these things are very scary, but he's brave. He could go against these evil pirate things, or whatever these pirate things are supposed to be anyways. They look weak and pathetic. They're no match for Captain Quark, especially because he has a futuristic high-tech blaster-type gun. Looks like something out of an old cartoon. Looks like something from Looney Tunes or something like that. I really love what they did at these levels. They're like 2D plots, like 2.5D that some people would call this. It's just like Mega Man. I remember when I was a kid, I remember pointing out how similar this was to Mega Man. And the only Mega Man game I ever really played at the time I played this was Mega Man Powered Up, and I recognized that this is just like Mega Man. Yeah, out of all the games that's similar to this, it's definitely a lot like Mega Man, where you also get weapons. You don't have any weapons yet except for our fists, where I can just pound down these enemies here too, just kill off these rats, these Chuck E. Cheese rejects. They probably came from Chuck E. Cheese's and they were brought into this game because this game was willing to pay them more than what Chuck E. Cheese is willing to pay them, and there was no threat of them getting, eating rat poison or something like that. Like that time I was sweeping at my workplace one time and I found a huge container of rat poison under something, and I thought, rat poison, it clearly says in plain English right there, rat poison, and then I thought, wouldn't the rat see that and then go, no, it's rat poison, run away? But I don't think rats know how to read English text, so I don't think it's really much of an issue then. I wonder if it's like that stuff from Dumb and Dumber when that guy was gonna use rat poison on Harry and Lloyd. That was pretty funny. At that restaurant, we wanted to kill them, but they were so dumb that even rat poison couldn't possibly stop them. Maybe it does pay to be dumb. Maybe being dumb isn't such a bad thing anyways. A lot of the greatest politicians in America are pretty dumb, and a lot of the politicians everywhere else in the world are pretty dumb too. A lot of countries in the world nowadays have really bad education systems. I'm pretty sure Captain Quark is a clear byproduct of that. We know he's not very smart. So he's not very smart from stuff he does, so he probably is just someone that just went to some education system, possibly in America, or maybe Australia, because Australia has a pretty bad education system too, so yeah, and I guess that could work too. Look at that, one shot, one kill, one shot, and it killed those evil pirates. And your ammo is limited, but we get a lot of ammo upgrades a lot. This part's kind of like Mega Man X, where you can like jump off the walls like that, or like Ninja Gaiden, but I don't know, I never played Ninja Gaiden, so I don't really know much about that. Even the Batman game for the NES was like that too, where you could like jump off the walls like that. Like Batman's a freaking ninja, and that game was made long before Batman Begins came out, and they made Batman as being a ninja in some game. Good thing that the spikes are not insta-kill like they were in the Mega Man games. Mega Man's real weakness is, of course, the spikes. Ooh, look at that, we got a titanium bolt for getting all 100 of the Captain Quark tokens. It took me a long time before I realized that Captain Quark logo is supposed to be a Q. It doesn't really look much like a Q to me. It looks like a planet with a lightning bolt coming off of it. Oh, and we're gonna come across a boss. We saw this boss in Spyro for a Year of the Dragon. And somehow it got reincarnated into just a simple boss that we have to fight against in this 2D-like venue. We're just kill him just by frying him with our blaster. Look at that, his health is already pretty much mostly all dead. I just punched him away, like that punch. Look at that, he only has a sliver of health left. He's supposed to be dead now. I don't even think he has any health left. It's like, his health thing is completely gone. He's still alive somehow. How is that possible? What kind of sorcery or witchcraft is this? Well, we killed him now. We fried him. We did really awesome there. He did 3 minutes and 19 seconds. That's not the fastest time ever, but that's still pretty good. And we collected a lot of Boruto. Or whatever they said, we collected that many bolts. Those are prize money. And bolts, we got 8,000. Is that 8,000 or 6,000? I can't really tell, but we still got quite a lot of bolts for doing that. We're gonna get created to another cutscene where it shows how obnoxious Captain Quark is. He just likes to capitalize on his success. And then he became a hero of the galaxy, Ginga. They say Ginga a lot, galaxy in Japanese. He's getting praised as being a hero. People think he's a hero, so he gets like, so he reluctantly accepts some scholarship where he's gonna donate like a billion bolts or something like that so a bunch of kids could get free education. We know Captain Quark loves doing that. We know Michael Scott tried doing that once too. We know how well that turned out. At least Captain Quark isn't bailing out like Michael Scott. We're gonna make a better boss in the office, Michael Scott or Captain Quark. I don't know. Just found out the Blackwater City's under attack by some other thing. That's what the next comic, the next Quark vid comic is gonna be about. Blackwater City. And when Captain Quark was watching that, he's suddenly gonna get a huge, what do you call, like a montage of painful experiences. Chairman Drac using the Megacorp thing, manipulating Megacorp, using the crotchetizer, all these other painful experiences that he came across over the last 2 games. And now he's starting to remember who he is and realize what he was supposed to be. Ooh, look at that handsome fella. Sounds like something Johnny Bravo would say. 911, there's a handsome man running around my house. Oh wait, it's me. Kind of like that. There's memories back. Now they're going to tell us about some what the next thing we're supposed to be doing in this game is. Some sort of like stadium thing, I think. Because I remember the last game had a stadium in it where the Megacorp games, where you had to like compete in like different gaming events, like kind of like some sort of sports thing. Involved with using our weapons and killing stuff off, like in Smash TV. And now this game's answer to that. Annihilation Nation. Where now we have like these Crash Bandicoot like platforming. So we have more Crash Bandicoot influence in this game. It's like a platform thing where you have to like dodge stuff and jump over stuff and not get killed and have to fight off enemies a lot of the time too. This game really takes it to the next level. The game after this takes it to the next level too, because the whole premise of the next game after this one is pretty much just gladiator tournaments or these battle show tournament things, whatever you call them. And all that airs on TV. I wish TV could air stuff like this. I'd watch TV a lot more if in real life they aired stuff like this on TV. But thankfully, we have YouTube to watch this stuff. YouTube is better than TV. It always has been, and it always will be. I remember back when TV was still a popular thing, I remember discovering that people uploaded TV shows to YouTube. And then so I would watch them on YouTube a lot of the time too, and I realized that, yeah, this is a lot better than TV. And then I remember some friend calling me while I was doing that. My mom said, oh, he's just busy playing on the computer. I'm like, I'm not playing on the computer, I'm watching TV, which is technically true, because those are TV shows. They're not games, they're TV shows that you could watch on YouTube. I remember watching Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog on YouTube. I remember seeing that show a long time ago when it was on Toon Disney back in the day, but now, more recent, much later, I got to watch it on YouTube, and I think it might still be on YouTube to this day. I don't know. I don't really check that much anymore. But I discovered all kinds of cool shows, cool stuff thanks to YouTube. There's even commercials too. Vintage classic commercials from back in the day on YouTube. YouTube has everything. Like my videos. It's going to introduce us to Annihilation Nation, what our first challenge is going to be. Yeah, this monkey from Ape Escape is going to be doing a bunch of Crash Bandicoot-like challenges just so we could win a prize, win an award, or some kind of thing like that. What do we win an award for? Not getting killed? There's some kind of challenge. This is what YouTube challenges should be. You know, those weird challenges on YouTube where they do stuff. It's like, oh, what's the challenge here? Yeah, go and do this without getting killed. That's a pretty good YouTube challenge. It's a lot better than that 911 challenge where you have to like prank call 911 or something like that. How is that a challenge? What, not crying when you get arrested afterwards for prank calling 911? Yeah, what kind of logic is that? Yeah, YouTube's filled with BS challenges. So there's going to be double jumping around here, like being the acrobats that we are jumping from there. There's those things that look like cameras, but they have deadly blades on them. We can destroy those easy with our weapon. I think now it's been upgraded enough now that if we hold down the fire button, it'll release a charge blast, a charge shot. We don't really have much use for that in this level. It's not yet. Anyways. There's those laser things going everywhere. It's really, this would be impossible in real life. If someone really went through something like this, they would just get killed in a matter of seconds. But Ratchet and Clank aren't real people, or just people that could run through this easy without getting killed. You can shoot down that camera thing there. That camera thing is probably filming us. I don't know if they're going to put this on TV maybe. Or maybe they're going to, put it somewhere else. Manipulate the footage. Make fake footage like what Jim Carrey did in Batman Forever, or that movie predicted like deep fakes or stuff like that long before those actually became a thing. Yeah, Batman Forever really did predict the future in a lot of ways, and no one really praises it for that. Also because it's just a campy Batman movie that's not as funny as Batman and Robin. At least this game gives us a lot of ammo pickups. That's something the Jak and Daxter games don't really do, specifically the ones that have guns in them. They don't seem to like giving you ammo pickups as much. Saying a gun in a game, it's so Ratchet and Clank. And there's our prize. It's Quark Comic Episode 2. Now we can finally find out what happens after Quark goes to Blackwater City. And find out what story it's gonna unravel itself from there. This is Ray Phoenix signing out.